We're going to take, yes.
Just a quick question.
No problem.
So there's the idea of reincarnation on the Buddhist faith, right?
Yes.
But you also spoke of a different world, like after you leave here, you go either to heaven, if you believe in that. So how does that work? How does reincarnation work? Do you keep getting reincarnated if you're good in this world, or do you move right on? Like, I'm confused.
That's a very good question, and do we have a few minutes? We can squeeze in. You guys gonna be all right? Okay. Now, if you close your eyes, cover your ears, don't talk, stay in a place that no one's touching you, you're not touching anything, and you're just there. Can your mind still see, hear, taste, and touch? Your mind.
Yes.
Very good. When you're dreaming and your gross consciousness is totally gone, there's no consciousness, you're just in your subconscious, you're sleeping. Can you taste, touch, feel, and sense? Correct. So sometimes dream states where you're touching, tasting, and feeling things are even more profound than life. So that means it could scare you, it can make you very happy, you wake up crying, you wake up very happy or sad, right? And it's as if it's real. Sometimes when you wake up, you don't even know that, is it a dream or where am I? That mind that can see that and feel that is your actual mind. That mind is only a temporary resident of your body. Now, can you remember everything what you did last Wednesday exactly?
No.
But if you relax and you take your time and you kind of ask people, will the memory come back? Because it's a relaxed state of mind. Okay, but so last Wednesday did happen. Okay, it's just slipped your memory, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen or you didn't do it. Can you remember things that happened to you 10 years ago?
Some.
Yeah, but if you concentrate and focus and kind of keep thinking, a lot of it will come back, right? So when you were a child, when you were an infant, did you have cognition? Can you see, hear, taste, and touch?
Yeah.
You can, right? Can you remember that?
No.
Okay, but does that mean it didn't happen?
No.
But for you to have that cognition, that mind at infancy, and now you're the same person. So everything from the time you were born till now is one mind.
Right.
That mind never changed. It's just your perceptions became sharper, correct? So if you had that mind now, that mind is the same mind you had last Wednesday. That was the same mind you had when you were a child, 10 years ago. That's the same mind you had when you were born. So is that the same mind you would have had when you were in the womb?
Right.
Correct. Isn't there many cases of babies who heard what their parents were talking about when they were born? Later they say, hey mom, you did this and this, and the mom's like, how'd you know? Because they heard, right? So definitely you had a mind when you were in your mother's womb, right? So at the time of conception, would you have had a mind? Just a lucky guess.
I'm going to go with the yes.
Very good, because it's only logical. You're going yes not because you know or don't know, because it's logical and you're smart. So you have to have had a mind at the time of conception, to have it in gestation, 9 months, to have it at birth, to have it at childhood, 10 years ago, Wednesday, and now, correct? This will be the same mind you have 10 years later, 20 years later at the time of death. So if you had a mind at conception till now, would you have had a mind prior to conception?
Yeah.
Correct. That was your previous life. It has to continue.
Right.
And everything you liked and didn't like and did do in your previous lives follow you in this life. The actions you did in body, speech, and mind are converted into karma. You have money in the bank. It's not paper, it's electronic. It can convert to paper. Mind is like that, it can convert to any material. So prior to birth, you had a mind. I'm not saying except, I'm saying logically.
Yeah.
You had a mind, right? So you have to have had a mind prior to birth in order to have a mind at conception and to have a birth during gestation, a mind till now. That mind continue to your previous life and your previous life and your previous life. If you do breath meditation, you will start recalling your previous lives because it is just a memory, it's nothing supernatural. If you do meditation correctly, you will remember what happened to you 10 years ago. You will remember what happened to you at childbirth because it's just a memory that unlocks when your mind is very relaxed. So when you do meditation, you will remember your previous lives, not because it's mystical or something, ooh, you know, like magic, is because it's a memory that is in your mind that's stored away. It just has to be unlocked. And there are many cases of young Tibetan lamas who remember their previous lives perfectly. Example, when they're very young, they remember the lives, the names, where they lived, and it correlates and people can find it. They can remember what they ate, what belonged to them. You can give them things that belong to them and similar other objects, and they'll tell you, that was mine, this was not. We have seen this with our own eyes. So, how does that relate to a place to go? Heaven in Buddhism has different types of heavens. There are heavens for beings who are not attained. There are a place that in English you call heaven, but it's an inappropriate translation. It is a place that you live for a very long time. You're very youthful, you're very strong, there's a lot of food, there's no effort, there's no sweating, there's no aging. You live for thousands and thousands of years till your time comes and then you will die, take another rebirth. So heaven is a place, is a transitional place. Is a transitional place. Because for a Buddhist, the aim is not to get to heaven, the aim is to become a fully enlightened being, to transcend all of that. Okay? Yeah. Separate from that, completely separate from that, when you have enlightened beings like the Buddhas, when they become fully enlightened, from their mind, they can manifest pure realms. They can manifest realms and places where we can actually visit or go there to receive teachings. So those are, we call those Xing. Xing is a place manifested by a Buddha, but it's translated as heaven, which is not appropriate. So in the English translation, it gets a little corrupted, but in the actual Tibetan, or in the actual sense, it's not a Christian or monotheistic type of heaven. It is a completely different type of heaven. All right? So that is how reincarnation and heaven work together in Buddhism, in a nutshell.
Thank you so much.
And you don't have to accept, but you can understand that that's how 2 billion people in the world live. 2 billion to 2.5 to 3 billion, 2 to 2.5 billion people in the world fully live their lives on reincarnation. Correct. Because you see, reincarnation doesn't belong to Buddha or Buddhism. It's a universal phenomenon. You understand? It's just the Buddha talked about it. For example, does electricity belong to Thomas Edison? But he was responsible for creating the light bulb and all that, right? Or something like that. Does flight belong to the Wright brothers? No. But it kind of like they created flight. But flight is a phenomenon that's inherent in all beings and on this earth. It's just who knows how to tap into it and explain it. So reincarnation doesn't belong to Buddhists. And if you believe in reincarnation, you don't become a Buddhist. You just realize what happened to us before and after. So everything we do becomes karma. That karma becomes potent, and that will come back to us. So in Buddhism, we don't deny a higher being. We don't accept or deny a higher being. We don't focus. We focus on ourselves becoming a better person. And we see, when you accept karma, you take responsibility. God didn't do it to me. I wait for God. You do it yourself. Does that conflict with religions that believe in God? If you make a conflict, it conflicts. But look, whether there's a God or not, you still have to work for yourself. You still have to. But if you believe in reincarnation, if you see reincarnation, it changes your perspective on tolerance and acceptance of everyone. Because everybody was somehow connected to you in one life or another. Okay, does that help you?
Oh, tremendous. Thank you so much.
Good. Very good question. Very good.